Alright my friends, this is a full and complete how-to on how to monitor your hives for varroa, which is an excellent thing to do the day that you put them in, so just before you put them in, and just after you take them out. So you can see if your treatment has worked and has done what it's supposed to do, okay? So first of all, you want to get down to your brood box. If you've got 2 or 3 boxes high, peek through. I would usually start at the bottom and check from there. So you want your brood frames, your capped brood frames, because that's where the majority of the varroa will be. So remember, our varroa is breeding and feeding and hiding underneath those caps. They are feeding on our pupae. So when those pupae hatch into a little baby bee, they will quite often have a varroa on them. So that's the kind of bees that we want, okay? So you are going to go into your brood nest. You are going to find some big beautiful frames all covered with capped brood, okay? So here's one I prepared earlier. Okay, so all that lovely brown, see all those caps there? That's what you want, because all of the bees surrounding all of that capped brood are all what we call our nurse bees or our house bees, okay? And they are the ones that are going to either have the varroa on them or have the varroa running around next to them. So that's what we want. There's also, I can actually see some little babies on here, so that's what we want. Now, you want 2 or 3 of these. So if you read the varroa manual, written by the lovely Mark Goodwin, he recommends 2 or 3. Obviously, we are taking a sample of bees from your hive. We're obviously not taking every single bee out to count every single varroa, okay? So us taking these 2 or 3 frames out is a sample of our hive. We will then shake them into our tray here, give them a little mix up and take a sample out of that. So we are actually taking a sub-sample, as in a sample from a sample. So you want to get the bees that have the highest number of varroa on them so we can get a good reading, okay? So you are going to check for 2 or 3 of these first, all of capped brood, all the lovely bees covering them. You're going to make sure, and I cannot stress this enough, make sure that there is no queen on any of these frames, okay? If you are not sure, if you are not fantastic at finding a queen, which is, as you know, as beekeepers, finding a queen is hard, okay? But if you're not that great at it, I would phone a friend, or, I mean, you can risk it, but really, in the middle of spring, killing a queen, not as dangerous as what I'm doing right now, which is heading into the colder seasons. I wouldn't recommend losing a queen now, but it's up to you what you want to do. But anyway, all right, so I've checked number 1. I've actually put that, I've just leaned this up against the edge of my hive because I don't want to put it back into the hive and get the queen back on it because I already know there's no queen. So I'm leaving that out at the moment. So we're going to move along to number 2. Please excuse the noise of cows that are next to me. Now this one, as you can see, doesn't have as much capped brood. There's like a little bit there, but not really a lot. So I don't particularly like that in terms of having all of my varroa. There's lots of lovely open brood, like our eggs and our little larvae, but they are not yet going to have varroa in them. So the chances of having varroa on those adult bees there, those nurse bees, is a bit lower. So we're going to check this one. That's what I want. Okay. Massive big frame of capped brood. That's what I want, okay? So I've got my other one leaning up against the hive there. I am going to, again, quadruple check how much, sorry, check if there's a queen on there. Apparently I can't talk and check a queen. Okay, so I am 100% sure there is no queen on here. Well, I'm going to say 99.9, just in case. This may turn into a tragic video. All right. So I've got my 2 frames. Again, I could get 3, but yes, if you increase it to 3, you have more of a chance of, you know, your sample is bigger, which is awesome. But increasing it to 3 also increases your chances of accidentally getting the queen. So I usually just do 2. All right. So we've got our bees all over our frames here. Right here, I have it's just my hive lid, okay? Just put it on a little stand here. I'm going to use that as my tray, okay? There's no need to buy any fancy things for this, okay? We're just going to shake our bees into this tray, and then I'll show you the next step, all right? Literally, just giving it a shake, okay? Don't stress that they all didn't come off, okay? don't worry, you've got the majority. Now, you can see some of the bees flying away. Don't stress about those either, okay? We are trying to sample the nurse bees or the house bees. And they, to tell you the truth, don't actually know how to fly, okay? They've only just been born a few weeks back, probably never even left the hive. They are staying in my little tray here. Number 2. Again, everything we do in beekeeping, cool, calm and collected. I'll just show you these guys real quick. Okay, see, not going anywhere. Oh no, thought there was a queen there, but we're okay. Just double checking. Okay, so we have our bees in our little tray here. Look, they're not going anywhere, okay? That's what we want. So, I have already pre-prepared my little varroa check, okay? I am actually going to put this, so I'm going to take the lid off first. It's already got my alcohol in it, okay? I'm actually going to put this, just squish it into the wax that's on top of my hive here, okay? There it is. Okay, and I'll explain to you why. So I want this to use as my measuring cup, okay? So half a cup of bees is around about 300 bees, which is what we want. So I'm just going to put that down just next to it as well. I need to like angle this down for you, all right? So I am going to, and I'll do this in 2 little bits, I am going to shake said tray, shake them down into the corner of here, and then I'm going to shake into here to that line in there, which is going to be round about 300 bees, okay, because that's what I want. I want 300 bees for my sample. Okay, this is my tray of bees. All I'm doing is giving them a little shake down. Okay. And these now, pray for these bees. They are about to give their lives to science. Okay. Done. Okay, they can't go anywhere. Put them to the side. Make sure the lid is on correctly. And now, because you've still got some left, we didn't kill them all, obviously. I'm just going to shake them back into the hive. Okay, this is what I do. Why I do it on top of the hive. And this is why when I did the shake there to get the 300 bees, I also did that on top of the hive. Okay, I'm just trying not to. I mean, obviously this is causing quite a ruckus, but I'm just trying to show you that if you do everything on top of the hive and not, you know, 2 meters over there, you keep them all together. Yes, it seems a bit ruckusy, but they calm down really quickly once they get back into the colony. Okay, so I've got my sadly dead bees here. Now, depending on how you're doing this, if you're going to take that little sample back to your kitchen and count them and do all that, that's cool. Then we can put all the hive together. But I would like to do this right now. I would like to find the answer of how many varroa are in here so that I can make a decision immediately on if I treat this hive or if I leave it for a couple of weeks, okay? So I am going to step away a little bit because sometimes these leak and I'm not about throwing alcohol into my beehive. Okay, so we are going to then shake the majingos out of this. And I do mean quite vigorously. Now this is the part, if you have ruckus, you know, made your bees angry, they are going to chase you because you are doing very strong, jerky movements. But my bees are nice, so that's okay. Alright, we're going to shake these for a minimum 30 seconds. In science we do it for 60, we do it for a whole minute. Okay, the alcohol is now leaking, but as I did say, it sometimes does. Okay, blech, don't eat it. Now, you are not only shaking, obviously everything in here is dead. The bees are dead, the varroa is dead. I am shaking the bajingos out of them so that the little varroa, which quite often lodge into the bees' little segments and the bees' little sort of gaps and stuff, you have to bash those out. Yes, they're dead, but their little bodies are designed to hang on tight. Ugh. Tense the abs. Alright, so now I'm going to look underneath here and I am going to count. Now this is the hard part because varroa just look like tiny little pieces of dirt. Okay, so underneath here, see there's little bits of dirt floating around. This is the hard part because, to tell you the truth, those little bits of dirt floating around, none of those are actually a varroa. I mean, I should probably have cleaned the outside of this as well, but that's the difficult part, is making sure you actually know what a varroa looks like. And amazingly, I mean, sad for you because I don't get to show you a varroa, but bonus for me is that this hive has absolutely no varroa. Oh, I lie, I found one. Okay, so, hold on, how am I going to get this? How am I going to be able to see that one? There it is. See that one there? It's going down, 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 down. Getting bitten by bugs here. Down, down, down. That's a varroa in the middle there. See, it's falling, 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 still in the middle. And that's why it's so difficult to understand and to really... Still falling. One. That's fantastic. Okay, one varroa. I am very happy with that. So, to tell you the truth, I'm not even going to treat this right now, okay? I'm going to wait a couple of weeks. Not that I want it to get super high, but it just shows that I can delay it a little bit, so I can time the rest of my beekeeping stuff. But that right now, one varroa in my little sub-sample of 300 bees is totally okay. God, I'm getting bitten here. Now, if you want to be super sciencey, you can also then take these little dead guys out of here and actually count them as well, okay? And then you will get a really, really exact number of how many varroa you have per however number of bees. Now, side note, this little apiary I'm at has got 2 hives, okay? I've got another hive, yes, sitting on top of it right now. I'm also going to check that one. If that one is also just as low, I'm definitely not going to treat. If that one is super high, like if it's stupid high, I'm going to treat it, and I'm also going to treat this one. Even though I just said I'm not going to treat it because it's low, if that one is high, we will get drift, okay? Not only do I want to keep my treatments easier so I can write it down and know, you know, what's what and what I've done, I also want to make sure that if I'm knocking the varroa down on that one, I don't want all those guys to come over here and reinfect, so I will treat them at the same time. So we had the same thing just the other day. I had my students out in an apiary with a good 9 or 10 hives. So if there's 10, okay, so we'll say 10 hives. 9 of those hives were fantastic. 9 of those hives had really low numbers of varroa. They were like from 0, we had a 0, up to I think the most was like a 12. And yet one, the 10th hive, the absolute anomaly, was 150 varroa. Like, stupid, okay? So even though those zeros and stuff were, you know, obviously the 0 hive was a 0, but those other ones that were like, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 150, I'm obviously going to treat the 150, so why would I not just treat all the other ones at once, okay? Because I wouldn't want those stupid billions of varroa in that 150 hive to spread to the other ones. So if you've only got one hive, you can obviously make slightly more decisions, because obviously you've only got one. You can know that it's if it needs treating or not. But yeah, today I'm going to check the other one as well, and if that one is higher, we're going to treat both of them, and then we're going to leave them in for, I'm going to read the packet, I think it's about 8 to 10 weeks, and then we can go back and check, and when I take them out, I will retest, and by gosh, it better be 1 or less, or else it hasn't worked, okay? So that's kind of what you can show. And it's, I mean, if I come back to it and I check this in autumn and it's like 7, then we're in huge trouble, okay? And then we've got resistance. So you can never blame the strips that you put in unless you have done a start monitor and an end monitor. So you have a start point and an end point to know if it has worked, okay? Gold star.